Recently, I decided to buy a Steam Deck, and this is actually my first handheld console, and my first console ever. Before this, I never owned any consoles at all. For me, keyboard and mouse was always the peak gaming experience. That's why in this video, I'm gonna share my first impressions of the Steam Deck and explain why so many people say this is one of the best gaming devices out there. But at the same time, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not like a tech nerd, but like a regular user who just bought it. I'll show you what's actually good, what's not so good, and whether it's really worth it. And to be honest, this experience gave me some very mixed feelings, and I want to share them with you as soon as possible. So let's get started. Alright, for the sake of interest, I want to tell you the short story behind this decision so you can understand my motivation. The thing is, it's been a month since I moved to a new city, and in the new apartment where I live, I only had my MacBook for work and essentials like a mic and headphones. So, to be clear, on the days when I rest, I didn't have anything to play on. And as you already know, a MacBook is not really for gaming. I mean, you can play, but I didn't want to deal with all that stuff just to play games. You understand if you have a Mac. And my PC was in my parents' apartment, and I couldn't bring it because of different reasons. But the thing is, I never imagined in my life that I would miss playing games. I usually don't play them much, but there's this still time when I launch them once a week. But this time I didn't have that opportunity, and I started thinking about buying a console. On top of that, I could make content about it on YouTube. So I went to my local store's website and started looking for a new device. I thought about a PS5, then Xbox, Nintendo Switch, ROG Ally, and Steam Deck. But when it came to the first two, it was impossible because I didn't have a TV or even a monitor in the apartment to use them. So I started looking at handheld consoles. Out of all of them, I thought the Nintendo wasn't a good option just because I didn't have games for it, and the ROG Ally was expensive. That left the Steam Deck in the middle. But when I finally decided to buy it, I had a small dilemma choosing the storage. There were 256GB, 512GB, and 1TB options. And while you can expand storage with an SD card, I thought SD cards are currently expensive, so I decided to go with the middle option. So I wouldn't worry too much about spending money and at the same time about storage capacity. In the end, I decided to go with the 512GB version. It felt like the safest option, so I bought it. And then I just had to wait for it to arrive. After several days, it finally got delivered to me, and it came in an ordinary modest box. Inside there was a case with the Steam Deck itself. By the way, right after I bought it, I checked online and saw that it went out of stock, so I got kinda lucky there. So I opened everything and finally grabbed the Steam Deck in my hands. Damn, that feeling is unmatched. The design is so good, not gonna lie, but also what I didn't expect was the size. It was pretty big compared to what I imagined while watching reviews. I thought it would be the size of my phone or a little bigger, but even the screen is bigger than my phone. So of course the next thing was turning it on, and I noticed that the OS launched pretty slowly. I genuinely thought for a second that it had an HDD inside because it felt that slow. But once it was fully loaded, everything became smooth, and I actually liked the interface. I liked its dual haptic trackpads because when they vibrate, it gives a lot of satisfaction. But the biggest thing I realized is how different a handheld console feels compared to a PC. Think about it. You work all day on your computer, and by the evening you're tired. You want to relax, maybe play something, but your desktop doesn't feel like a relaxing place anymore. You're still sitting in the same chair, in the same position, and most of the time you say F it and just end up scrolling on your phone instead, which honestly feels worse than gaming. But if you have this device, you won't even touch your phone. You just turn on your Steam Deck and play whatever you like while lying on the bed or sitting somewhere comfortable instead of being stuck in one place. And in my case, it brought back the desire to play games. Now, not gonna lie, I enjoy games again, even though the graphics are not great. Now listen, before buying this device, I had to research a lot about the Steam Deck, so I used Perplexity AI for that. But then I realized the subscription is expensive, and you're locked into one model. You can't just switch and compare answers from different AI models. That's when I found a better solution. This video is sponsored by Mammoth AI. Good thing about this AI, with one subscription you get access to multiple top models like GPT, Cloud, and Gemini, plus built-in web research with Perplexity, all in one place starting at €10 a month. Here's how I use it. I ask one model for the best Steam Deck layout for a specific game, like The Witcher 3, and it gives me a full setup. trackpads, back buttons, and everything. Then I reprompt another model to improve it, make it more comfortable, closer to keyboard and mouse, or just more intuitive. And that's where it gets interesting, because each model suggests slightly different layouts. And if I'm not sure about something, like whether a layout actually makes sense for a specific game, I use the built-in perplexity to double check what real players recommend. So instead of relying on one option or spending hours testing random configs, I basically built my own optimized layout in minutes. Instead of juggling different tools and subscriptions, I get multiple second opinions and research in one clean workflow. And if privacy matters, Mammoth is EU-based, hosted in Europe, GDPR aligned. If you want to try it, link in the description and pinned comment. Now let's get back to the video. My Steam Deck has an OLED display, and I did notice that, but the system is still kinda weak, so it doesn't make a big difference. Most of the time I put contrast and brightness close to maximum, making games look like they're from the 2000s. That's the only solution if you care about your eyes, because too dark makes it unplayable on such a small and OLED display. Also, games run on low settings, and I can clearly see the pixels in AAA titles. But honestly, bad graphics are not a big deal considering what it offers for its price. Sometimes it reminds me of old times when I had weak hardware and I couldn't play on high settings. Back then my brain accepted it as normal, and when I switched to a powerful PC, everything felt amazing. The same thing happens here. When I play The Witcher 3 on the Steam Deck for a few hours and then switch to my PC, the difference feels insane. But ironically, I enjoy it more on the Steam Deck. I don't know why. Maybe because of portability, since I can take it on a plane, train, or any transport and play without problems. And when it comes to built-in speakers that are located here, they're not the best, but still good enough for gaming and hearing important sounds. Not for FPS games though. And I hope you're not gonna play CS2 or Valorant on it, because those games originally are not convenient in this controller. It is for a PC. Speaking of that, the sticks on the Steam Deck are not bad, but for aiming in shooters and camera control, they're kinda terrible. In games like Spider-Man, God of War, or Assassin's Creed, they're fine, but not in Call of Duty or Battlefield, where everything depends on shooting. If you get used to it, maybe it becomes convenient, but the Steam Deck also lacks strong auto-aim like on PlayStation. It does have gyro controls that feels more like a mouse, but if you're lying in bed, it's not comfortable. And another thing I found inconvenient is the button layout. Honestly, I struggled with it a lot. Maybe it's just me being used to keyboard and mouse, but in games like Cyberpunk or The Witcher, I kept pressing the wrong buttons. Sometimes I didn't even know how to enter a car or switch weapons. It felt confusing. I still don't know if it's just me or the default layout is actually not very convenient. The only console games I played before were some PlayStation exclusives and FIFA, and those felt comfortable just because you mostly use one stick. But in games like The Witcher 3, both sticks are important. Your right hand is always controlling the camera, and pressing X, Y, B, A at the same time becomes difficult. And by default, those buttons are used for combat, so at the beginning I struggled a lot in fighting until I gave up and changed the controls. For example, I mapped fast attack to L4 and dodge to R4 on the back buttons. That way I could finally fight and control the camera at the same time. Another thing I actually liked, and this is a small detail but really important, is where they place the airflow. The hot air comes out from the top of the Steam Deck, and honestly that's such a good decision. It might not sound like a big deal, but imagine if they placed it in the back. Your fingers would constantly feel the heat while playing, and that would get annoying really fast. Or even worse, if it was in a button and you're lying down while playing, it would just blow hot air straight onto you. That would be uncomfortable too. So yeah, it's a small design choice, but it actually makes a big difference in everyday use. And trust me, I've seen some really questionable cooling designs from laptop manufacturers before, so this is definitely a W for the Valve. And when it comes to battery life, it actually matters a lot here. On paper, it can last up to 8 hours if you're not playing anything heavy, but in real use, especially in game sessions, it drains much faster. For example, try playing Cyberpunk for a couple of hours, and you'll immediately see the difference. So what I usually do is just plug in the charger, which is USB-C by the way, and keep playing while it charges back up to full. Alright, so the next thing I have to do is actually test this Steam Deck for you. I know you've probably seen tons of tests of this device on YouTube already, but the thing is, everyone experiences it differently. For some people, 30 FPS feels completely fine, and for others it's just unplayable. So today I'm gonna show you how it actually feels from my perspective. Not just numbers, but real experience. But before we jump into the tests, let's quickly go over the specs. The Steam Deck runs on an APU, which basically means the CPU and GPU are combined into one chip. The CPU is based on AMD's Zen 2 architecture with 4 cores and 8 threads, and the GPU is also from the AMD using RDNA, which is roughly comparable to something like a GTX 1050 Ti, maybe even a bit older depending on the scenario. It comes with 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM at 6400 MHz, and my version has a 512GB SSD. The display is an HDR OLED panel with a resolution of 1200 to 800 and a 90Hz refresh rate. And everything runs on Steam OS, which is basically a Linux-based system. That's important because it can sometimes cause compatibility issues when launching certain games. But anyway, let's start with the tests. So let's start the testing with The Witcher 3, because this is already one of my favorite games. I've played around 20 hours on this device and I'm still not even 10% through the game. Even though it's an older title, I'm running everything on the lowest settings with contrast pushed to the max. And honestly, in this setup, it's pretty playable, sitting at around 50 FPS. Next up is Cyberpunk. On the lowest settings, it runs at about 30 FPS. And to be honest, on the Steam Deck, that actually feels playable. I don't really struggle with it here. But if this was on a PC, I definitely wouldn't play it like that. Especially with how high PC standards are nowadays. Another game I tested is Dying Light 2, and the performance is around that level you can see. And honestly, for me, it is still playable. So yeah, after spending some time with the Steam Deck, I can finally say this. It's not perfect device, and the performance isn't amazing like in a PC, especially with the RTX 50 series nowadays. And also controllers after the mouse and the keyboard takes time to get used to it. And after using that 2 weeks, I still mess up the buttons. I feel like I'm a kid that is slowly learning how to play games. But at the same time, it gives you something a PC can't. You know, the thing is, sometimes you really want to lie on the bed and play video games however you want, on however pose you want actually. But that feeling is impossible with the desk. It is indeed gives you a good graphic and all that, but doesn't give you that comfort that Steam Deck does. Whatever you buy, the best desk, the best chair, you still have to stay straight to play one game on your PC. So I guess I have to finish this video with this one. If you liked the video, thanks for watching and take care.